How did you hear that? Interesting. It's picking up the wrong mic. How does this mic sound actually? And then let me know if the audio is too loud, which I know totally destroys the whole like waiting to get started thing. This should be the right mic. Well, we'll start it. We'll start it just like the old days. There's not gonna. Well, wait. We can still do the intro. Hello and welcome to the stream. I'm Professor Bohdi, aka Mr. Bonny John. Thank you so much for joining me. Gang, Zach is here. Arthur is here. I know this is very random, and I suspect I won't spend too much time here because I've been very consistent with going to the gym, so that's this thing I'll do. What's up, Martyr? Welcome. I am still alive. Maldecco was fine. Cool. I have upgraded my setup a lot since, yeah, I think I stopped streaming, last summer, right? End of the summer? You guys remind me. What's up, Pastu? Guys, oh my God, my heart is kind of swelling seeing all you guys. I've been really well. Please let me know how you guys are doing. It's been so long. I know there's been a lot of radio silence, but my life has been progressing the best kind of way. I had definitely a quantum leap, I think. You know, you guys saw kind of how at the start of last summer, an event kind of really shaped my life based off of, you know, essentially going blind, right? I think I've taught you guys about retinitis pigmentosa, the disease I've been living with. What's up, Chill Bill? Gen 10 came out, bro. I had to rise from the ashes. Low key. But basically, I knew that I kind of was, you know, over streaming and is Lazarus. I know, seriously. For more streaming or something else. So yeah, I'll go over it all, and you know, everything got upgraded to white, gang. Just because my vision, it's just easier to, you know. So I got a new this thingamajig. I got this Logitech Creative Console, so that's like a little dial, and I can shift it. It's pretty bright in here, I guess. You know, it's got all these little fancy buttons and stuff. New keyboard. New mouse. Damn. And I, you know, decided to treat myself. There's a new Logidock that's in here too, for my speaker. Got this little bad boy, this Instax printer, because I wanted to, you know, as with the vinyl and everything, I was kind of over my previous life, and I was like, I can pity myself and be sad about going blind, which now I don't even say. I just say I'm gonna get my vision back, because what is the word miracle for, right? It was, that word means things can happen, or if this disease doesn't have a cure, why do I have to believe that? You know, why the way technology moves or whatever else. What's up, Atomics? And Spatial Awareness, hello, welcome. Yeah, white ended up just being the color I would go for easier contrast for my eyes. But yeah, I don't remember exactly where I left you guys off when I closed up shop with streaming. Um, I know for a fact I had been accepted into the MFA. That was kind of like this big thing that was really important to me, and it was something that I was working on early around this time last year. I had already submitted I think I had just submitted the portfolio, and eventually I'd have gotten accepted at UCF for a master's in fine arts, thinking that was the way to go with my life. thinking, okay, like this blindness might take my vision, but it doesn't have to take away the fact that I'm an artist, right? And slowly but surely over the summer, I got all these intuitive hits. And so, chat, currently I am in the Masters of Social Work program at UCF. It's fully online, which is easier for me because I'm not supposed to be driving and it's just hard to travel for me, which is why streaming became so important. And I'll probably be going all over this kind of stuff in a video for the channel. I bought this, let me take it out and show you guys. I bought this DJI mic. It's supposed to be one of the better kind of mics you see people like clipping onto their chest and whatnot. I'd mentioned I wanted to do that and change the direction of the channel, right? So it's this cute little mic. There it goes. And I think, spoiler alert, I kind of mentioned it before. I think I want to go in a direction for the channel that's more uplifting and more of my skills that I'll be, employing in the social work life that I'm doing, which is, therapy. In 2 years after, I should be able to finish licensure to become licensed clinical social worker and LCSW, aka therapist. So it'll be 3 years of this program. I just finished my first class, which is really cool. It's a program where it's one class at a time, but it's super intense, but I love it. I feel like I really have purpose for the first time. So why I decided to stream today is because I have 1 week before the next classes start, or next class. And then either way, spring break starts on the 16th and I'll get another week. So I figure, ironic, right? Your name is spatial awareness too. Sorry about the vision problem. That's okay. Otherwise, yeah, gang, I'll tell you right now, losing is weird. And I've been writing books. I've been working on creative projects, and we're going to go over this as well. It's called Not Nice Ninjas. That's the official name. I'm going to go over this, a game I've been working on and creating, co-creating. But this is the second print. The cards look amazing, if I may say so myself. I don't even say things like if it gets picked up, if it gets published. When this is published, it'll be at your local Walmarts and Targets and whatnot. I speak directly to the universe now. Okay, there's no point in saying what's and ifs and whatnot anymore. This is the character that you see in the thumbnail, Rudy. He's kind of like the Mario, like the leader. But yeah, let me tell you, gang, and I'll talk about it in that first video back. Part of me was thinking, do I put those videos on this channel? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I think I will. Like, this channel has been around for almost 12, 13 years. The first version of it was just like these really simple speed paints. Then it became like a Pokemon centric channel. And then the new one is going to be more of like this soul searching, creative. And I kind of talked about it before, but it'll just be a place where I can kind of share my thoughts and really live into, or rather lean into YouTube, right? Like I'm putting the you back in there, which I do with the streams. And I'm so grateful to have you guys as well, because, our audience really defines us. And one of the key lessons I've learned, however, is before you create anything, you have to put yourself into the audience first, which is why I wanted to create a game like Not Nice Ninjas and whatnot. But yeah, I've never been more creatively fulfilled in my life, gang. I think I mentioned before, I started like falling into the content creator grind, right? Where it was more content than it was art. And the hustle culture, the grind culture, no. It's supposed to be go out and get fresh air, touch grass. It's for all these kind of reasons where like I'm leaning more and more into analog. I bought this really dope Instax camera. It's got a nice viewfinder because my vision is poor. And so rather than trying to peep through a little hole, I can use this guy and just record memories and be more active in this world. I was a participant. I was an NPC in my own story. I get to take photos of my nephew and be present. And I understand now I'm losing my vision for a reason. Rather, I can assign the reason, which is having gone through this journey. If I can get back up, so can you, right? If I can still be a creator, and the universe in this cruel joke is taking away one of my most important tools to create art, which is my eyes, and yet I still persevere, so can you, right? Is my name because I'm clumsy? Yeah, I hear you. I'm clumsy too. I guess. I mean, I guess I have more of a reason. My vision right now, I can't see past like this kind of area. But um, I've been happy and healthy. I hope you guys are well as well. Please, again, I want to hear what you guys have been up to. I kind of see what's going on in the Discord and whatnot, which I've been a little more active recently because of Pokemon. So you guys tell me. I'm gonna do like we did before with the polls and whatnot. All those are fun. Do we want to go over Pokemon? Do we want to go over Not Nice Ninjas? I had to get on because one, I felt like it had been long enough having stepped away, and I just missed you guys a lot. And there is enough in my life to update you guys on that warranted me hopping back on. And we'll talk about again, like furthermore, maybe I will return for some art for Wind and Waves. Maybe that's something down the line. School is my priority. University is my priority by far. Um, and let me tell you, in the best kind of way, it is um, incredibly humbling. I all my time before was for creating art, which was great, but I took it for granted in a weird way, right? Where I was in this weird loop and cycle of just like, again, the grind of creating content. I'm like thinking about you guys more than I did for myself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing when you hear it. It's like, yeah, well, you serve the audience. But after a while, if I weren't being fulfilled anymore, it made it a drag. And so now I have a physical planner and I schedule out my days. And if friends want to hang out, I've got to thumb through. And I'm like, oh, this is a great problem to be this busy and have a sense of purpose, right? Designing a lot of the megas. I've been seeing that, Zach. Keep that up, man. Want to see the ninjas? Just look at Beethoven. He was deaf and yet became. Exactly. There you go. We're all going to add our names to history. So Martyr is saying, I want to see the ninjas. I kind of want to start with that as well. Because also, I know I haven't been on for a while. So let's give people a chance to log in and take the time to get back in. And because let's be honest, I think you guys want to see my reactions to Wind and Waves. So yeah, I guess I will talk about Not Nice Ninjas and how that happened. And guys, I'm full on hippie now. In that I kind of had like an ego death. That's what happened in April 2024. A couple months later, I found out my disease, retinitis pigmentosa, is now moving out of the moderate, or I already moved out from a moderate diagnosis to severe. And that forced me to really restructure my entire life with a career change and whatnot. And so, timing wise, 2025 was the year of the snake. It genuinely felt like I had really shed my skin. Truly, I learned to take care of myself for the first time. I lost 15 pounds, put more effort in how I take care of myself. I'm on Accutane now to get rid of all the acne that I'd have, which was destroying my confidence. I bought clothes for myself, gang, and like all my years, I've never bought clothes for myself. I've been buying shoes and sneakers and jewelry and trying to, like, more than ever, not even trying. Now I've like feel good inside. I love myself. And now I know like I can receive all this amazing stuff in the world. Because if you don't love yourself, then no one else will. And not to sound almost defeatist in that weird, but no one else will. It's more like learning to find that validation inside of you rather than seeking it in external, especially now that I continue to surround myself with material goods. And this is the kind of topics we'll talk about, or rather I'll talk about in future videos. But as someone who did something for a long time and stopped for a while, yeah, and that's life, right? Like, guys, we're going to have our ups and downs, but the pendulum always swings back and forth, right? Just from a physics perspective, you can also think that for your life too. If at any given time you're thinking like, oh, things are shit, it's gonna swing back around. And then while things are high, rather than saying, well, it's gonna swing back to the other way, what's the point? No, live in that presence for as long as you can, right? Live in the present, live in the current moment. And as soon as you start shifting your mindset towards gratitude and what you do have, your lack, your scarcity mindset also begins to fade. So nowadays I have a a post-it over here that reads, I have it right under my monitor, it reads, you cannot fail. You cannot make a wrong decision. It's already yours. Enjoy. That's how I live my life. Okay, so Chad, I was supposed to start an MFA, a Master's in Fine Arts, and shout outs to Jason Burrell, an incredible man. He was the director of the program and always rooting for me to get in. I got in on a portfolio I made with 20 pieces, and now I'm repurposing those pieces. Like I'll post stuff on Instagram, but also I think for a book that I'm working on right now, I think I'll kind of scatter those images in as well. I found, gang, as soon as I peeled out of the content creation grind, where I was making art for other people and art about Nintendo and Pokemon, and I was able to finally bring back to the stuff that I want to do. Like I said, working on books, working on a card game, working on myself as a form of art. Michelangelo, he once said that marble, the statue is already there. You just have to find it. Maybe he said it in a different way, but that's the essence of it. So we're blocks of marble. Let's stop acting like we need to carve ourselves. And yes, in this physical 3D world, we have to do that, right? But there's a beautiful person inside of us right now. You just got to let them out. So one of my buddies reached out, Jaidev. He's my co-creator / partner for this project. Great dude. He had reached out and he was telling me, I want to, make this game. I'm, do you have any idea about like artists I can hire? I know you're an artist and doing this and that. And I was telling him like, I need a little more of a plan from you. Plus, I'm starting an MFA. There's no way I can work on this game. And divine timing strikes just by living. And 2 days before the MFA chat, I reached out to Director Burrell at the MFA program at UCF and I said, actually, I don't think a Master's of Fine Arts is for me, which is crazy because it's what I wanted the entire year. I thought this is my purpose. I'm an artist. I've been making content. What would it look like if I made real art? Now I kind of look back at it and realize the MFA, it represented an opportunity to be a real artist, but then a piece of paper doesn't make me a fine artist. Yeah, it would have lofted me a lot of opportunities, like being surrounded by talented artists and other creators. So I'm in that workspace. Hello, Scenario or Senacario. Welcome in, welcome in. It would have allowed me to, just have that environment, have incredible connections to gallery owners and other supporters of the arts, talented professors, and like I said, classmates. But I had all these intuitive hits, people saying, you'd make an amazing therapist. Career Central, after my stint at Lighthouse, which rehabilitates visually impaired and blind people like myself, they were saying your highest score leads you to, you should probably consider being an art therapist. I'm like, nah, I'm already, going in for my MFA. It's all good. I don't need that. So what ended up happening was all those pings was like, yeah, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. And so 2 days before the orientation for the program, I bowed out. And Director Burrell was so understanding. He's like, dude, I totally get it. I think you're going to make an amazing therapist. And that's why I think I was supposed to go through this suffering journey and conquer that. I stopped going to therapy. I kind of graduated. I'm off the depression and anxiety meds. I weaned off of that, and I meditate twice a day, and I love myself. I love life. I'm so grateful. And so now I know I'm supposed to bring this kind of healing. Now that I've done it inward, I got to bring it outward to the people who need it as well. Because at one point I didn't consider that I was ever going to get out of this rut. I'm like, I'm going blind. Just got to accept it. What's up, JC? Welcome in. Armad JC. One of the original four. Elite Four. And so, I'm in school for social work, and all of a sudden it opened up, not to say necessarily more time, but again, now that I'm planning and managing my time, this game, Not Nice Ninjas, of which I've been working on, was able to become a reality. So my partner Jaidev, he was able to reach out a month later, and he's like, hey, I was doing testing and whatnot. And I was like really impressed. So many people messaged me like, hey, Bon, can you check out my region? Or I've got this idea for a comic or this or that. And I'm like, what do you got? And they're like, well, it's just an idea. And I'm like, everybody's got ideas. You got to make it tangible. So the fact that Jai had done the work and had physical cards and Elite Four, it does. Um, he came back to me with a little bit of a product, and long story short, we sat down and I kind of restructured the entire thing. I was like, plays like a video game rather than a card game. So I'm going to show you some of the first kind of template stuff I was making. Hopefully you guys can kind of see it, but that's the Pari card, or in general, like there were all these like templates that I was kind of, messing around with. And little by little, over the course of like 7-8 months, gang, we got, on our own dime, we started printing and making the first batch. So I'll show you the first card back for Not Nice Ninjas. Looks like this, which is pretty cool. And then it evolved a little bit. So this was the very first test print. The game is incredibly, Jesus, blue. The game is incredibly simple. Basically, and I'm not going to go into it too much, but you would choose one of 6 ninjas. So you got Rudy, you got Yami, you got Oni, who's this robot dude. I designed all the cards, all the art stuff, all the game mechanics. Jai and I, we kind of co-created. This is Sly in honor of my dog Coda, aka Pombon, is going to be named Coda when I get that game. I have to betray the grass starters, gang. Of all the generations that I pulled grass, it's easily gonna be Fire Dog. Like it's done. Here's Kira, and then Enzo. So they all have the same effect, and so it's not like there's different abilities or things like that. The game is so simple. The idea, and in this version, I won't go too much into. I'll kind of just show you the version 1 cards. This is the deck. So basically, it's just a ton of these cards, and these are all traps. So, for example, here's Smoke Bomb, right, in the version 1 edition. Here's Reversal, okay? And these are kind of like a linen card. They feel really good, but we found that there's so much tension, so everyone's sweating, and they're holding their hands. It got wet and nasty. I already showed you this one. Here's Pickpocket. And they look really great in person. I'm not sure how it reads. And one of the most devastating cards, Ambush. So here's Ambush. Well, there's only one trap in the game for this one called Curse Doll. What's up, Dresavonia? Welcome in. King's back, but temporarily. So that was the first batch. And so I'm going to use the current deck. And mind you, I will be working on the 3rd test print this week. I have the week off from school, which is why I was like, you know what, let me check in with you guys. We got Wind and Waves. Not Nice is going into it. Ideally, it's 3rd and final art print. And yeah, long story short, the test prints have been super successful. We're so grateful for all the feedback. It's all like local testing between our friends, and we're actually going to be on the 15th. If anyone's in Central Florida, there's this place called Geeks United. And so Geeks United is allowing us to play and test our game with their clientele. So it's going to open up the pool quite a bit. The game is super balanced. It's super fun. It's super simple. And like I said, it's going to be on store shelves. It's as simple as that, honestly. I believe in the product so much. We've had so much fun making it. It's going to be incredible. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. So let me move the this first deck. Move this first deck away. And then we're gonna look at the new deck. And I'll probably make we have a TikTok, by the way, Not Nice Ninjas. So feel free to check that out. I'm just gonna get this in. I'll just do that. Here is the current deck. This is deck 2. So here's the card back, Not Nice Ninjas. Um, and it was a really huge leap visually. And the third one it probably won't have as substantial as a leap, but it's still going to be amazing. So here you have Yami. The colors are so much better because it's glossy printed, and these are plastic cards, so they really have a nice feel. You're plucking physically out of people's hands, so we wanted it to be durable, right? So here's Yami. Enzo's design is one of the least changed all throughout. Oni. Here's Kira. Bigger shurikens in this version. Sly, aka Koda. And then Rudy, our main guy. So the way the game works is super simple, chat. You can play up to 6 people, and every one of the games will come with the 6 ninja cards. You get quick rule cards. So it kind of has like this. You can pass this around. It's up to, by the way, it's ideally you want to play 3 to 6. You could do 1v1s, but it doesn't hit the same. It is a party game. Last one standing wins. And it's like the results have been amazing. People learn the game so quickly. They have so much fun. The goal of the game is so you choose your ninja. And ninja don't necessarily fight with honor, right? That's more of a samurai thing in the code of Bushido. Instead, you're going to pass out the main resource of the game. It's the only resource that you want to protect, which is pride. So pride is kind of like the big, aka it's your life, right? So the game comes with 18 pride. So for example, I would say I'm going to choose Sly, because of course I choose Sly. I always choose Sly. So there goes Sly right here. You put them down in front of you. Everybody else chooses their characters. And then per each player, you pass around pride. So I have 3 pride right here. Okay? You can tell because it's glowing gold. You got a ribbon. This is your ninja pride. What do you want to do? You want to protect your pride at all costs. Right? Without a pride, what are you? So the rest of the deck, chat, is where the game really comes alive. So I really wanted to sell the feeling of ninjas and ninjas hiding, right? And how do you like circumnavigate someone's hand and grab their pride? Well, you would have to navigate through all of their traps. So what's up, Nui? Welcome in, welcome in. So here's the new and upgraded ambush card, and you can see the cards just, yeah, they really got that nice evolution. We added a new card in version 2 called Release. You've got Smoke Bomb. And again, all these changes from 1 to 2, there's going to be, yeah, a pretty big leap, I think, between 1 and 2 naturally. Version 3 is just super fine-tuned. So somehow it looks even better. Here's Counter, which in version 3 will be upgraded to Deflect. And we kind of changed the effects for balancing reasons and whatnot. Here's the upgraded Pickpocket, which looks really nice. And the Cursed Doll, which there's only 1 in the game. You do not want to pick that card. That would really suck. I think that's everything. So the way the game works, like I said, is it's extremely simple. What's up, Dingus? Welcome, welcome. Might bump up the... Yes, that would be amazing. I hope to see it on sales. Absolutely. Yeah, dude, it would be so cool. The thing is, we would need to be in person, so I don't know how that would happen. I'm just gonna say it. I might have a couple of collabs coming out soon on Ron's channel, which, you know, when Ron was kind of reaching out about it, he was very, you know, keen on making sure I had the time for it because school is like super intense. But I realized, no, like now that I'm so honed in on my time, I want to make time for the things that matter to me, like collabs and hanging out with my artist friends and creating, again, art for myself, art to set up my future and my passion. And so, yeah, down the line, who knows in what ways they can definitely push the not nice ninja agenda to the world. Car looks really clean. Thank you. In person, it looks amazing. What's up, Chow Velocity? I'm glad you're back and hope you're doing all right. Plan on working on a continuation of Sonic. Give you full credit. Though, might hey, take your time and enjoy it. First time here, welcome in, Mr. Flamtastic. I'm so proud of the card art, and I can't show you. I don't want to give the direct line, so I might show it on the iPad. But I'll show you kind of like the potential changes I'm making visually and whatnot. But gang, it is so surreal how fast this game has been moving in development. We're trying to secure publishing. Like, if you guys know anything about that, we reached out to Exploding Kittens because of all the companies. Alon and Exploding Kittens really resonated with our values and the kind of game this is. So, Mr. Alon Lee, hello. If you see this, please consider supporting our game. Mentioned Curious Cat. Yeah, shout out to Crimson. Such a cool dude. Once again, chat, you guys know also my Pokemon agenda. I feel like I've been telling people, and I even had a conversation with Crimson, not to say that I forced that direction at all. But alongside Zotempo, to be honest, I haven't really been working on it, but I get more and more excited about it, seeing Wind and Waves and the Revlar system and, everybody's own offshoots. But I tell everyone, please nurture your heart, nurture yourself. Pokemon and Nintendo does not need your help. We can, of course, enjoy it. Absolutely do. And hey, if you want to make Pokemon and Fakemon, do it. If that's what you love and enjoy, do it. But, if you're sitting here considering, like, I want to make a region, this, that, have ownership, like create something without any bounds, something that you can leave behind. Card is so cool. Thank you. Anyway, I'm gonna get lost in that. Let me take a photo of you guys, because now that I have this camera, like I said, I'm more and more tangible every day. We're going to make memories. So, okay, let's see. And let's try and fix this. All right, cool. Recorded. We'll turn this off. Guys, you have to make everything tangible. I'm gonna all you guys coming with the emojis. Make your life tangible. Get a planner. Okay? Read a book every day. All right? I finished Letters to a Young Poet. I reread The Power of Now, and I'm on the 4 Agreements. So do that every day. Next up, keep a little book like this. It's a very simple, cute, handsome notebook. I do something called morning pages. I write in the morning before I start my day, which I got out of, this is also my current read. I read it once a week. You read through the chapters. This is The Artist's Way. So many talented artists, directors, musicians go through this book. Most recently, it kind of got back in the zeitgeist because of Dochi. She even got her name through the processes described in this book. And now she's always been talented, but now she's in the spotlight as she deserves. Do that. Write every day. Put your little manifestations. Get a book. This is my 3rd campus book. Make sure you guys write your dreams, your hopes, your inspirations, your aspirations. Don't say, I want da 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 da. The universe in your mind is going to think it's like far out. Just say, I lost 100 pounds. I got the dopest, hottest girlfriend in the world. Actually, I don't even say girlfriend. I just say wife. Like, I'm married to the love of my life, my wife. I have happy and healthy kids. I'm in an amazing house. Da, da, da. Okay, do that. Lean into a tangible world. Okay, that's the most important thing I can tell you. Want to do some for your card game? Oh yeah, hell, I want it to be the first one. Please do. That'd be amazing. I'm gonna go back to the card game. I'm not the writer. So you're gonna have your ninja card, in this case Sly. You have Sly on the field. Everyone gets 3 prod cards in their hand, right? You're going to, I hope you guys can hear this. I want some ASMR. So you're gonna take the deck right here, which is fully made of traps. You can tell because the traps are an X symbol. The symbol here, which in version 3, by the way, is gonna get axed. We found that people don't really rely on it anymore. But the lower icons would be for like quick identification, because you're gonna fan your hand out. But you're gonna shuffle the deck. This game is so simple, gang. It's so much fun too. And here's the shuffle. Hopefully you heard that. And you're going to shuffle out 4 traps to each player. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say it goes into your hand like this. Well, actually, let me change this one card. I can demonstrate something else. So now, in this case, my hand looks something like this, where you have at any given time you have a max hand of 7, and so you have at the start 3 pride, and I have a counter, another counter, a pickpocket, and one of the most deadliest cards, ambush. Everyone immediately shuffles your hand. So, for example, I can do a hand like this where I move my pride into the middle. Maybe I want to move 1 pride to the side. The way it works is, and so pretend you guys we're playing a 1v1. The way the game works is, as a ninja, Sly, aka me, is hiding. The goal of the game is to snatch my pride cards from my hand. So, for example, whoever says it first, tell me which card you can say, like, what is this? Far left, far right, middle, Tell me, whoever says first, I'll pick the hand and pretend that's how you played it, right? And in that case, this game streamlines so much so that you don't have to sit here and read, what does this card do? What do I need to play? You never play anything. There's only one thing you can do in your turn, which is attack, okay? When you attack, you simply grab a card out of someone's hand. You're trying to snatch their pride, right? And avoid their traps. Every trap has a unique ability. No matter what, it keeps the game moving. So let's see who says where they want to pick from. And so everyone would have their hand fanned like this. Well, on live, it's true, Ninja. I'm back just for today. Just for today. All right, I'm waiting. Who's attacking? Call the card you want to pick. Leftmost. Okay, I'm going to say my left. So in this case, Dingus called leftmost. He's correct. He landed the pride card. Bam, you snatch my pride. What I have to do now is I put the pride next to Sly. Okay? And now everyone on the field can see Bonnie lost a pride. What do? Well, before Dingus gets to attack again, I have to draw. So there's this really cool auto balancing act where, and I'm going to shuffle my hands because, I don't want you to, hit me again. Dingus, attack me again. Welcome back to the land of the living. Baby, I've been living amazingly, trust. So Dingus gets to attack again. If he had missed and grabbed a trap, he would we'll see if you hit a trap. And the idea is you want to lose, or rather you want to grab everyone else's traps and be the last one standing. So a successful hit means you guys go again. Call it. Let's see what you guys say. I'm watching. Rightmost. Holy shit. It's another pride. Okay, Dingus, just admit you played the game somehow. But point being, I get to draw again. And now the chances to hit the pride are far low. Now I have a devastating hand of traps that you have to navigate. For example, if Dingus missed and grabbed the ambush, it would read, attacker loses 1 pride. So that means Dingus, as the attacker, would lose a pride, bam, right out of his hand. Every trap is devastating in one way or another and continues the game. So I'll just quickly fast forward. And so what happens when you lose all pride? So say Dingus hit the pride again. Well, Sly must come out of hiding because there's no more pride, leaves the field, and enters the hand. So now it would look something like this, where you can see the ninja card, bam, right here. So twice the pride, double the fall. Yeah, you would navigate this hand, and one by one, the only way to draw would be to, in this case, say Dingus hit Sly. You didn't see that. It reads, attacker draws till they have 7 cards. And then he's got a cute little message at the bottom that says, I'm all bark, all bite. So Dingus would be able to draw back up to 7. And so the idea is you're trying to whittle each other's hands down to destroy each other's prides as ninja and catch them. You know, they're hiding. So that's Not Nice Ninjas. There's a little more to it, but again, it is so simple. It's super fun. It's super easy to play. The reception has been amazing. We're so grateful for the feedback and the love and the support. And like I said, if you're in Central Florida, in Orlando, we'll be at Geeks United on the 15th. And I'll probably post it on my Instagram and whatnot. What's up, Alex? How much did you get paid for the sponsorship? Zero. Everything's up front. But I'll be a millionaire from this very soon. So yeah, basically, that's the main kind of creative outlet I've had for myself personally. Working on a game. Like I said, I've been working on a couple of books actually, which is very exciting. I guess Not Nice is going to be everywhere. Hell yeah. This is my boy. Actually, listen, this dude right here, he's pretty nasty at the game. I'll be playing him and our other friend this Friday. Actually, you know what? You could tell them what you think of the game. You know, no bias because you're, you know, one of my closer friends. But we're so proud of it. And like I said, being able to detach from the content grindy kind of world is how I got back into creating for myself and therefore benefiting other people, because I see so many people enjoying this game worldwide. It starts with kids. Like, we wanted to, especially me and Jai have like nephews and younger cousins. But like, we want to make a game that we could play with them, with our family. And then we realized, wait, it's so simple. Anyone could play it. Now we play it at our friends' houses with like drinking games and stuff, you know, like you hit a pride, take a shot. Like, there's so much, not to say possibility, but or even potential. It's just, it is a thing. Easy to pick up, hard to put down. Put that on the back of the box, baby, which I got to design at some point. Or maybe the publisher takes care of that, but I know I want to have a hand in it. So that is Not Nice Ninjas. That's something I've been working on, of course. As I said, working on a book. University is the main thing. I want to see if there's any other thing I can kind of show you guys. You know, I've been working on my own brand stuff. Guys, finally, David Boy is the brand. It's gonna come around full circle because David Boy Studios will be the parent head for Not Nice Ninjas, which is the first time I'm saying that out loud. And I'm so happy and proud because I've been saying David Boy is the brand and all this kind of stuff. It is a good tagline. I might have to, you know what? I will write that down and make it tangible. I always have post-it notes on me. Take more photos, write down your ideas, you know, exclaim who and what you love. This world is amazing. This world loves you. I'm on that grind indeed. And it's really a great, easy to pick up, hard to put down. Fire. King said, yo, thanks, Deebs. You guys, say happy birthday to Deebs. His birthday was yesterday. He's now 102 years old. All right, take care, man. David Boy's a brand. Absolutely. So I've been working on more and more simple, you know, like simple art projects where, rather, like, for example, with this second book that I've been writing, I was like, I'm trying to think about the book, blah, 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 blah. No, let it come to you. You know, I found like I was writing poems, and just little by little, I'm just working on poems, and I'm like, wait, I could just turn that into a whole book. It's so simple, right? I'm going to show you guys, I guess I'll show you a little sneak peek at Not Nice Ninjas version 3. It might be a little hard to see. Actually, you know what? I'll keep it so simple. I'll just show you guys the new card back. How's that? Why don't we just do that? Because then I got to give you guys something to look forward to. Right? Can't show everything. I just showed off a good majority of the game. Hopefully my boy Jai will be okay with that. Although I know he will be. We've been on the grind. We've been making little TikToks and this and that. Marketing isn't my favorite. I just want to create more, you know? So here's the new card back. It is in the process of being finished. This week I'm doing a lot of art, so it just looks a lot more cleaner. And this level of polish, you guys know how much polish I put into my work. This level of polish will just be consistent throughout all of the game. Certified, I'm not even gonna finish that. Um One or two and powerful indeed. All right, guys. So that's not nice ninjas. And you know, we have to talk about wind and waves, gang. We've talked about my school, my health, you know, how far I've come. I'm so glad to hear heal. Yeah, I guess I am glad to heal, but I'm glad to hear you guys are doing well. Actually clean though, I know, right? And again, telling you, the rest of the cards are just going to continue to look amazing. Wind and waves. If I were still a Pokemon, well, I guess a Poketuber, I'd probably have hopped on that day and did this and that and start. Yeah, oh my god, gang! Like throughout the ZA campaign, I was like, I want to redesign this mega, and how would I do this, and how would I? I'm like, no, chill. You like, guys, you don't understand how much you have to read for a master's program. It's actually insane. Um, so many times for months in advance. I don't even go on the internet anymore. So for me, and that might be a good sign just to kind of peel back from that stuff, right? Like even now, more recently, I started looking at Instagram reels and stuff like that. And I'm like, I hate it. I'm like, why am I doing this again? When you unplug, dude, it's so nice. We're going to, oh look, the classic. Hold on, ready? Damn, remember this? Let's do, yeah, that looks good. A new stage is set for the Pokemon series. I love this region so much. Give me more water. Indeed, I'm so excited for Wind and Waves, especially because the company took their time. Yeah, exactly. I'm very happy that the game is releasing 2027. The fact that they can even consider that means they have learned their lesson, right? Nintendo, you know, it meant something when the Nintendo quality seal was on a game. And Pokemon of all games, they're less games and more vehicles to move a generation of merchandise, and it works for them. I'm not going to sit here and be like, like, I get it. Like, I can't, of course I can criticize. I have, but like, there was apparently even an internal document where they were like surprised that Scarlet and Violet sold as much as they did. You know, despite all the issues it had. People love Pokemon, and you're going to vote with your wallet at the end of the day. And people were like, I don't care. I want the new game. Cool, enjoy it, you know? So excited for Wind and Waves. Yep. I love this region so much. Give me more water. I love the Angry Bird starter. Voice acting, maybe, not necessary, but would be cool. I'm afraid of the Gecko becoming an Anthro. I actually had a conversation with a dude the other day that said, I'm so grateful the company is doing a lot for their 30th because of me and Pokopia in mainline. Actually designed an orange fire dog starter running with silence. Well, for the Palm propaganda, I know, right? I didn't think they would be able to pull off the water when I heard it was a water-based region given Legends Arceus. I'm actually surprised in a good way. I really don't want vibe with the name Wind and Waves. Yeah, Arthur, I'm kind of with you there. Look, at the end of the day, no matter what the packaging is, we're here for the meat and the potatoes, right? So, like, I was like thinking like, oh, well, we've had Pokemon Black and White. That's not Red and Blue. Even though, yeah, you have little bits of Red and Blue peeking through in Reshiram and Zekrom. You have Scarlet and Violet, which kind of like came back from Sun and Moon, right? Like Sun and Moon isn't necessarily Red and Blue. They can peek those colors in, right? X and Y, like that's not even colors anyway. So Wind and Waves doesn't sound so epic and like, I guess, like does it do a good job of holding the theme of the region? Obviously, but whatever. I think Palmer's gonna all stay on all fours. I hope. Which star are you choosing, Sir Bon? Gecko is my personal pick. Gecko is my pick. The water drop spot makes me think of a Bindi. I'm hoping for a water psychic femme fatale. I think JC is more than onto something. I'll go through everything one at a time. So rather than answering the questions and then when we get to it, I'll have answered it. We'll just simply go through all this. Do we want to watch the trailer, gang? I think yeah. Hold on. Let's pause that. I'm praying the legendary big and scary. I love Koraidon, Miraidon. Koraidon more so, but I miss when the legendaries were these powerful beasts of legend, large size and massive power. I've got to agree with you, Senna. Looks like my gecko. That's cute. Let's watch it. Am I gonna get like in trouble? I'll just do this. We're not gonna have the sound on. All right. Yeah, we'll just leave it like this. I'm gonna skip this part. Oh, maybe we won't skip it. We won't skip it. Okay, I'll just give my thoughts as we go. Okay. Isn't wind just waves on the air? Just waves on the air. That's true. And waves are like a wave of wind. I don't know, bro. Original arts of the protagonist looks really short. Let's see. Cool how okay. Generation 1 is like in black and white with this sketch. That's really cute. We get color as we move into the Game Boy Color. Kecleon hidden, Poke Blocks and stuff. Cute. I think that middle Ferris wheel shot is just from the game, right? And they filtered it. I could be wrong. Cute. Very cute. Eh. Gorgeous. Lechonk there. And now we're at the... What's up, Draco? Welcome in, welcome in. It's been a while. This threw me for a loop. This was very cute. We'll pause and go over the stuff now. Pikachu looks very cute here, but I was hoping for the chonky Pikachu because we had seen that for the a lot of the, well, not a lot, but like it felt like we were seeing more chonky Pikachu for the anniversary assets. That said, like they wouldn't really, there's a reason why they moved away from it, right? Getting that more bean shape, so he's a little more flexible and therefore more expressive. That's the more important thing than being just cute. These guys, I got some theories, okay? My theory, chat, is, well, first of all, they're pretty cute, but there's, I don't know why they also feel creepy to me, like they're hiding some dark secret. We want to buy a drink on Pikachu's. I know, I've thought the same thing, especially because they're on vacation. Gyarachu, they are more tan. People are like, oh, they're shiny, but they're like in the official art, which we'll see, they're extremely orange in color. Jurassic Park billionaire Pikachu, I know, right? So I think because the hats are on these Pokemon, it's the soulless eyes. Guys, if you remember in Blueberry Academy, you were able to have like a proxy Pokemon, and then you're running around interacting in the world. That was no more, just as in every game and generation, there's some new mechanic they're kind of testing out. And you know, it's not a bad thing. Like we're meant to test it out and give the feedback, right? They're probably scouring the internet and seeing like, oh, what do they think about this feature or that feature and this and that. I think these Pikachu, whether or not they're, I've seen funny things like they're the region's professors. No, I don't think that's the case. I have a feeling if they're not their own unique characters, which that's largely the case, they'll probably be their own unique character. There's also a possibility that they're going to be our proxy Pokemon to interact with the world at large. So rather than doing it as a thing where you can walk around as Croagunk or Zekrom and let's choose one random third Pokemon, Scizor. The leader of the evil teams, you're just Team Aqua and Magma 2 with just the two emblazoned. I think we're going to run around in the world, the overworld, as these guys to be able to like interact with either the environment or other Pokemon on a more micro level, right? What if they're the rivals partner? It's possible. By the way, I do want to say, please don't give any spoilers. I've done a really good job of avoiding, and just for the chat too, I'm just realizing, Team Typhoon and Team Tornado could be, I mean, that would be winds and waves, I guess. Team Palma, what's up, Armani? Welcome in, welcome in. Just everything theories. If I say something that's actually confirmed, don't tell me it's confirmed. Don't leave any spoilers. I've been doing really good about avoiding that stuff, and I know a lot of people probably as well. So just be mindful of that. If I get something right, just if I get something completely wrong, you know. But anyway, that's what I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be your proxy. I don't think it's a thing where you mind meld and then you're like, I'm, player Bonnie in the Pikachu's voice. I think it's more like they're one of your trusty, almost like an Alolan or not Alolan, Rotom Dex level kind of partner in the game. You'll have your flying Rotom, I'm sure. But I think they're going to be like a truly indisposable Team Diva. I can't spell if I don't know them well. There you go. Team Dress Up. And we've seen cosplay Pikachus before, but the fact that these are fully named characters make me, I mean, it's not makes me, I know they're, what's up, Jay? Welcome in, welcome in. It makes me think, it makes me know that there's way more to them, right? So we'll keep going. They do this little thing. Waves, they do a little cute thing. And then you can see the Pikachus have like that one has got a scrunchie and the other guy's kind of little bracelet. Game looks actually good visually. I think so too. The game looks, I think, gorgeous. I truly believe the hate train where people are like, the game's not going to look like this in the final, blah, 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 blah. Stop. Let's stop with the negativity. What's up, Jay? Welcome in, welcome in. Sword and Shield and Spear makes more sense to me. The Eternatus is the gun. We have to leave behind cynicism. You guys know I've practiced and preached this a lot. My own healing journey, having left behind YouTube and content creation. I'm like, there's no point in entertaining negativity anymore. We have to, as a community, right? A community is not just one person, it's everyone. And that collective consciousness is what makes things feel loud. Sometimes when it's not even the majority, right? Case in point, every Pokemon, what do you call it? Boycott. I'm not going to get the game. And then it's the best-selling game. Maybe they've subtle variations of designs that don't reach the level of variance. Pokemon like multiple versions of Pokemon possible. People hating on this are just blind at this point. Do we have to choose between them for games? It makes me feel like I'm a divorced child. I bet you the other one will show up, but I do think you are likely going to choose one. The fact that they split the hats, right? The male's hat and the female's hat, characters' hats belonging to each Pikachu makes me feel like they will be split up, but you'll probably still see the other one in the game. That was something that you didn't quite see in Scarlet and Violet, like when you have your game and you see the other professor, the windows. I heard about that. I haven't played ZA yet, so don't spoil that for me. But I did see that as well, and it's like, you guys are, not you guys, but the fandom, any fandom, are so good at picking out the things that just don't matter. Anyway. This game looks gorgeous. I'm telling you right now, obviously keep your expectations leveled. It's going to look even better at release. Trust. Taking intentionally awful. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the thing, right? Like, I had even seen the Winds and Waves announcement was so universally loved in the actual stream. Although I do close out the chat. I don't like to look at it. But then afterwards, I'm like, I've made my opinion and thought, let me just kind of see, because still, part of the excitement is being part of a community. And then when I was looking up Wind and Wave stuff, there were so many things that were pushed to me where it was like, I don't even know some of these YouTubers' names. Like, it looks awful. Winds and Waves is terrible. Winds and Waves is going to flop. Fire Red and Leaf Green is the worst. How dare they charge, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro. I think the only thing I don't like is the rock textures. The game's going to come out in 2027. Yeah. And, they're going to hear and see all this feedback. You see all the time. Developers, put out one, aka the earliest rendition of the game. Look at Not Nice Ninjas, right? I'm going to the third version of that game. We don't know what iteration of the game this is going to be, right? I know for a fact this team, this version of Game Freak is now an elevated version. They had to have suffered the pitfalls and gone through the trials and tribulations and get the feedback to realize like we're failing our fans. We can do better. And this trailer really tells me they are. So we have to have faith. You can't really get past that without having a little bit of trust. Screenshots and footage are from a product in development, not final. CS map was just one huge model. Let's talk about Weewa. No mystery dungeon news. I don't really care for the environment looks. I just care. See, I've got to disagree. I think the environment is equally as important. I talk about this all the time with stories and my own world building, because the Pokemon are one thing, right? They can look amazing, and they will be. And we'll go over it because we're going to see certain things. Like Pikachu, it's very exciting. He's like in an attack pose now rather than standing. So I would love to see all the Pokemon that are in the game having, rather than just standing, right? Typhlosion standing there without fire. Let's get these Pokemon out with battle poses, and they can have various states depending on where they're at. Like maybe they're heaving and breathing heavier when they're at low HP. So not only do you have the ding 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 ding, ding like the HP, like, and even the music alters as well, right? It gets ramped up when they're low HP, but you see your Pokemon like breathing more heavily, maybe slowly depending on, you know, the Pokemon itself. And that said, the environment needs to sustain the characters so everything feels all encompassing. That was something that ruined Scarlet and Violet for me, where textures looked flat, the draw distance was so poor. You know, the game didn't have style or substance, and so you're just running through a world, and the whole point of a video game is to be immersed. Any form of media is for you to be immersed, and so care must be given at every level. Still prefer Galler's art style. I agree, Alex. Me personally, I agree. Like having the stylization helps your game not only stand out more, but it kind of survives the test of time. Realism kind of dates your game a little bit. So we'll see how, like, to me, my dream game would be to push what we are seeing here with a little bit of that, like, ZA/Arceus kind of look feel, just even more polished. Shock me with the games coming out next year. And they have till February 6th of next year to deliver within the 30th anniversary. So people are freaking out, like, I can't believe they're missing the third. No, technically they're still good. Give them all the time they need. The more polished, the better, right? The Wonder Water sections look as pretty as it does. Yes, I think it will. It's actually a new model. If you look at it close enough to Pikachu, I think you're right. Can you imagine if there are storms in the game? Oh my god, that would look so cool. I think they would have to with a game called Winds and Waves. Like, you're gonna want to use the power at display. Dude, that's gonna look so cool. The rain and storms and maybe windy conditions as well. We'll see. Pretty transparent on how the game looks, so the water's probably accurate. Main threat of the storm legendary. That's true. Hope we get weather changes. Hope so too. All right, let's go. We're gonna keep going. So the game's pulls into the sky. This windmill shot's very much a nod to the previous windmill. All this looks gorgeous. This looks like a very touristy spot. It makes me wonder, why is this thing? Look at this cool little cup I got, but it's like leaking for some reason. Okay. Cheers. Tsunami and Hurricane Legends. Maybe that would be sick. It could be like an evolution of Kyogre and Groudon, because Winds and Waves is very ecological, right? Like it's the environment, and yeah, of like the most environment related legends we've had before is Groudon and Kyogre. So this is a 30th anniversary game. I can't help but imagine that okay, hold on. Let me finish this on. I'm just looking at this thing and I got an idea. Who's to say, just like in, Alola, we had all this like callback to red and green and blue, and I think they're going to show up again, even more older this time. And I think they'll be the stand-in for the millennial players who like grew up with the series. Give me Super Mario Sunshine without a doubt, Draco. You're so right. I do love that game too. But who knows if like Kyogre and Groudon show up in some capacity and they get it's not maybe a self-contained story of wind and waves, but maybe like a general franchise up and down, maybe um Rayquaza shows up. Like they did that with Zygarde coming through and being like, yo, who are these ultra beasts? Like I gotta protect Earth. Billy Salah's like an octopus. So Joe, exactly. I was just gonna point that out, and I'm like, because you see all that stuff here, but then when I look over here, this looks like curled up like a tentacle. I mean, it also looks like it's curled up like a wave, right? It also looks like wind traveling in the air. Tsunami Octopus Legendary, and it's like twirling its arms to make wind. Who knows? Yes, that'd be cool too, Zach. That'd be really dope. Um, so maybe this is a nod to a legendary, maybe not. Yeah, dude, imagine Lugia just tapping in. Oh my god, hell yeah, that'd be so sick. Lily and Gladiator left to go on their own adventures. Dude, absolutely. Mega Lugia, please, for the love of Christ. I love Lugia so much. Um, so yeah. I think we're in the tropics and whatnot. We'll probably see a lot of water Pokemon. That's almost a guaranteed. We're gonna see a lot of cool tropical fish. Maybe there's a Mega Luminion on the way. Maybe there's an evolution. Um, Obviously all new species of water. I'm calling an eel. Okay. Maybe a new jellyfish, indeed. So don't get mad at them when they put a ton of water Pokemon in a game called Pokemon Wind and Waves. Likewise, maybe you're traveling in the air is a lot too. Maybe you'll see cool bird Pokemon flying beside you. I don't think we really had a lot of options in Paldea, if I'm correct, because Kilowattrel in that line was kind of whack to me. It was fine. I wouldn't be surprised if the theme was perspective. Both winds and waves can be calm or dangerous. Absolutely, I love that take too. Please let there be a Mega Lugia, and if we get a Mega Lugia, Mega Ho-Oh too. Okay, so just a note, just a note. Dingus got to it first, but that's why I paused. I was like, this could be a Pokemon. Flying type evolution to the wind, absolutely. I think we've been wanting a flying type evolution. I also called, not called, but I also said a long time ago, gang, I'm telling you, put it down, write it down. Eevee, a dragon type Eevee, or at the very okay, maybe not dragon type, could be. He's so funny. He's fine. He's to me, he fulfills exactly what he needs to. I don't hate him at all. Um, but guys, we're getting an evolution. I assure you. Okay? I assure you we're getting an evolution. There's a new trainer. They've got hoverboards, by the way, if you see it. Also, I can't help but look at the hoverboards and see, like, they look like switches, right? Where it looks like the black part there, right here, is like the screen, and then the side are the Joy-Cons. So is it like a Switch related thing? Like Nintendo always puts their consoles like into the games. Since you're probably not spending any time at home, might as well just advertise the Switch at all times, right? Design wise, I gotta say, for me personally, gang, just me personally, they're a little bit of a miss. Like they seem so. I don't know if you guys seen Pokemon Champions. The trainers for there are generic McGee, and they're meant to be because you immediately customize them to however you want. You don't need to have a pro tag kind of feel. These guys feel super generic to me. They don't like. I'm not getting the inspiration, like the homegrown kind of element. Part of it feels like we've seen this before, right? Where you move into the town. This isn't a place where, you were born and raised. This looks genuinely like a resort, like when you think of Bali or like, any of these gorgeous destinations, they'll have like these 5-star fancy pants resorts. It looks like you're on vacation. Well, probably not like a vacation to relax. Maybe like your parents are on vacation and you're having your Pokemon journey. right? Like that's the vibe I'm getting. You know, like this doesn't look like a place where you're like, yup, my generations of family was born on this resort island. Like, no, we're probably like not native to the area. Um, they look a little generic to me, like they're just wearing adventure clothes. And yes, before anyone gets, yeah, you are adventurers, sure, but like Galler, oh, those guys came out great. Um, Paldea, yes, as controversial as it was, they still fit the part of being like the whole shtick was Mezagoza and the school and whatnot. Um, these guys just aren't, they're not fulfilling the through line to me of the region, which makes me think they're like outsiders. And maybe that's the point. Um, Let me catch up with what you guys are saying here. I'm thinking there could be two ways of going to different islands, either surfing or flying. Oh, I wonder. I'm not a fan if they locked. Say if you're playing winds, you can only fly, which that would never be the case because going under the water. Imagine locking that to one game, like it'd be riots in the streets. Um, it could be like a Koraidon Miraidon situation where, and I gotta say, I wasn't a fan of getting the legendary so early. I would have loved if your Pokemon was obviously you switch to the battle form, at some point. But I think both Koraidon and Miraidon should have had like a soft evolution to show like we use them as transport. I can't help but think again in a game called Winds and Waves, whether or not you get one and they do the two things, they could both fly and go under the water, or maybe like your wind legendary lets you fly and that's your go-to flyer and then you choose a separate water guy like maybe Gyarados to dive and vice versa, right? Maybe the waves starter or excuse me legendary you can dive uniquely with him and then you get it's a cool flying guy like but large enough. Oh, like Latios or something. That's a legendary, but you know what I mean. Like you choose your specific flyer, right? Um, One of the shots I saw wind animation in the air, so I think we'll be able to go up on there somehow. 100%, 100%. So I hope so. Switch 3 confirmed. It's a tease for Switch 3. Right on the Switch 3. Switch 3 being a hoverboard, pretty much. So the Protect might be super customizable. I think so. I think they learned their lesson. They really copped out there. But remind me, chat, because again, I haven't played ZA. Can you like customize um your trainer to the degree that we're used to in ZA? Because I think ZA represents very much like the new foundation that they're leaning towards, you know? Can we talk about how lighting? Yes, there's like occlusion and all this cool stuff. The lighting looks gorgeous. Um, Hey, Bomb, what's up, Wombat? Welcome in, welcome in. Alola is good customization. So Weewa is so funny. We have a thing called Wawa here. It's a gas station. So when I see Weewa, I think of Wawa. Would be surprised. Most of the ZA features, absolutely, Jay, absolutely. And that's what these games always do. You're always, you know, the whole point is to pass the torch, right? Not just with Pokemon and but gameplay and um all the advancements, you know. We were Protect models look pretty different from ZA models. I think how they might have done a whole new thing. My wish list: catching mechanics from Arceus, agreed. Pokemon attack you like Arceus, agreed. Voice acting, agreed. Choices that impact narrative. I'm not neither for or against that, but I know a lot of people love that. Alex, there are clothing shops all over the city. You can mix and match. That's cool. All right, let's keep going. This is cool. It looks beautiful. All the Pokemon running around. Look how far the draw distance is this time. There's so much detail going back. Over here, you see the new receptionist. There goes Jenny on the side. Melanated gang. Okay, so it's like a Pokemart / Pokemon Center. I don't mind this. I don't need to see the animation of going through the door. And then, this is nice. Keep it like this. One of my favorite regions. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Joe. I'm with you. It almost feels like a clear nod. And we'll talk about that more when we get to the starters, which I know you guys are probably dying to hear my thoughts. So I can't wait to share. Here's Tangela. Oh, speaking of lighting. Here goes Tangela in the shadow, and then Tangela catching the light here. Beautiful. Oh, I want to show lighting over here too. Gorgeous. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the lighting and the transparency through the wings. Even the rim lighting captured on this little banana. Gorgeous. Look at the care they're putting. South Asian Nurse Joy, absolutely. Wishes Part 2. Chloe. Are we getting a hoverboard? Yes, Arthur, I believe so. I believe we are. Um, the thing is, this game is just gonna be amazing. Like I already know. It's just gonna be awesome. Please, Tropius Evo. Everyone would put your hands together. Lord Spirit, please bring a Tropius Evo. Please make it evolve, and it looks like a dragon fruit or something so cool. Make it like grass dragon fruit. Amen. Plantain Tropius would and make that happen too. Plantain Tropius works as well. Congratulations, found something I hate just as much more freaking Jacinth. I've not played it, so I don't know. I think I know who Jacinth is, but don't tell me anymore. Tropius baby form? I'm kind of over babies. Marini being back, kind of over baby sounds so funny. Meaning baby Pokemon. Like I'd rather like extend the line further, in a way that makes them more helpful. Because ultimately a baby is going to take up a spot, right? Here goes the trainers again. I'm letting it run in case we see things we missed that we can tell. So what is this? If you guys ever played Apex Legends, for one, the map reminds you of Apex Legends, and they would have these balloons you'd ride up. Talos there, Nimble ran by. You'd ride them up and then you'd fly on those balloons. So when I think of these, I see a balloon. It's making me think Pokemon Wind. What if you use those to like either move around, or it gives you like a current or a gale to use, like Rivali's Gale. Tropius Evo being ride Pokemon. Tropius flying ninja. You might be onto something. You might be onto something, gang. Okay. Here we go. This rock is really ugly. I'm sure someone will zoom in and be like, Game Freak hates Pokemon. They'll fix all this and more. And again, it's also non-issues too. Fulton! Oh my god, Martyr. As someone who's the self-obsessed biggest Metal Gear Solid fan in the world, great call. Fulton recovery system. Guys, maybe Hideo Kojima is going to be in this game. This is gorgeous. Holy shit. This is beautiful, gang. Look at the wind, too. The rapid, very nice. That looks like the starting area for the rice field at the start of Kitakami. Gang, you remember when we played Kitakami? That was so fun. Should I do a Fire Red, Leaf Green playthrough? I don't have time for it. I gotta study. I read like 40 to 80 pages a week. What am I talking about? I only have 1 week off this week. And then I gotta start classes again next week. Kojima can design the Pokemon. That could be a hit or miss. Look at this. Look at Slugma. And he's glowing from the inside. He's emitting heat and light. Pikachu. So here goes Pikachu. Now look at this. So he does his animation. And then he immediately goes into this attack pose. Love it. I think they put this in to indicate the static. I'm Blastoise, and I'm just standing there like this. Bruh. Blastoise, you got whole cannons, my son. Stand like hunched over like this, and you got this. Or hit him with a sick like this. Like, we got, dude, Lucario standing. Bro is standing like this. Bro is like, I'm Lucario. Son, put your face up. We will play through? Oh, that would be sick. I'm playing Fire Red for you. Thank you, gang. I'm going to get Light Leaf Green if I were to. I assume that water part is a cutscene. Maybe even the opening. It looks like in-game footage, though, which is really impressive. I'll go back and see. What's up, Justin? Oh my god, my boy Justin's here. Well, guys, by the way, I'm so happy to see you guys come back as if we didn't skip like 6, 7 months on my character arc. Thank you for supporting me as always. Yoji Shinkawa doing Pokemon. First of all, Yoji Shinkawa might be one of my top 5 artists. No, he is. He's one of my inspirations. Although you don't really see his influence in my work, he has defined the look of Metal Gear, at least, 2D art and whatnot. He doesn't say Pika. Yeah, that's true. It's the old cry, which, I mean, either or doesn't work. Big man Blastoise standing there menacingly. You have to pick Pikachu so it's brown on the end of the tail? Is it on the end? Or no, I think it's usually on the backside. I see we're getting Blastoise and Lucario Slender. And if you guys know me, I will not spare Hydreigon, the ugliest design. Who else do I hate that you guys love so much? And remember, I'm the outlier. You guys are the normals. I hate Hydreigon. Again, remind me of the Pokemon I hate. Well, we obviously know I hate the name Talonflame, the worst Pokemon name. I think we all hate Talonflame's name. When we go off this week, starting this week, Arthur. My full team is 6 Charizard. Damn you, Zach. Should I hit the... Nope. So yeah, I genuinely believe that alone shows me... Oh, that looks so nice. Look at the light reflecting. By the way, let's go back here. I think that this looks in-game. Like, if this were a truly rendered out cutscene, this rock wouldn't look like this. My opinion. This looks like, you've got the draw distance and, like, the light hitting. Like, they recorded it, yeah, like, in engine, but, like, I don't... Of course, yes, that is a cutscene. Meaning, our cutscenes are going to have more elevated graphics. I think that's what you mean to say. Yeah, of course it is. Yes, Draco, you're right. I hate Magmort. Damn it, Justin, after all this time, you still spell my name with an IE. I'm watching you. We're normal indeed, Sennacario. Clip it! He did the thing! Sorry, so Jay's right. It is an in-game cutscene. What I mean, I thought he was meaning the graphics are elevated and it was like rendered like outside of the engine. Kind of like when you first saw Koraidon and Miraidon in those trailers, they were like really polished, like animated on its own, right? That looks like it's recorded in game, like in the actual engine, which is dope. Have a good camera? I think they will. We'll keep going. Ricefield area, Lettyba, Letty-in. I love the selection, by the way, of all the Pokemon they put in. Oh shit, it's 6:30. I gotta go to the gym. So, you know what? It's okay. I'll go to the gym a little later. Pikachu, we've seen this. Beautiful shot. Wingull. Got like little floral, underwater, like coral systems and floral systems. Rabby, Sandygast. Marini, you poor Corso. Corso, run away. What is this guy's name? Timpole? This looks gorgeous too. Look at the lighting hitting the swampy water. Oh, I didn't see the Carnivine. There goes Carnivine right there. Guys, I think a good chunk... Yes, we can have so many amazing bug types in the tropical region. I'm also, like... I have a feeling a lot of these Pokemon they're showing, like, Tropius deserves a lot of love. Like, whoever mentioned Tropius Evo, I think you're onto something. All the Pokemon, not all, but a good chunk of them, like Macargo being a Gen 2 Pokemon, the Gen 1, Gen 2 Pokemon get like a lot of loves. Loves? A lot of love. Macargo could easily have an evolution or a Mega. We already got a Corsola evolution. At this point, Marini is 10 years old. Or the Toxapex could have like an evolution. Carnivine, dying for an Evo. He's like a single stage. He could get like a super amped up tropical, super awesome like Piranha Plant Evo, for sure. Wailord deserves hella love, absolutely. And guess what? That is probably one of the most premier Wind and Wave Pokemons, right? Wailord flies through the sky and is under the water. I could easily see like a submarine Wailord as well as a dirigible Wailord, right? Like a man-made one. Or you can straight up just take your... Imagine how cool this is. Taking your Wailord out from the water and just cutting into the air seamlessly. I could totally see that. We see them all the time in this trailer. Why? For one, they want to send us the message that scale is a thing now. Gorgeous lighting here too. Look at the magma, how nice that looks. Dusko, my boy, he's so cute. What is that? Any idea what this building could be? It's got a second level. Here's the windmill again. Trainer's running. Oh, here we go. Here we go. More bug and steel. I feel like a steel type in this region would be really interesting. I don't feel like they'd show up naturally, but a lot of flying types, a lot of bug types, a lot of water types coming your way, gang. Trophy's so weak for a single stage. Archaludon, absolutely. We would get a bug starter, would never happen, I don't think. Might have a new form. Agreed. It could easily be a regional form, or it could get an evolution that's region based. We get to swim with Wailord. It's so peak. Toxapex Evo is Dive Ride. Shout out for Pom Pom for being the first dog starter. Indeed. In Southeast Asia, those are usually houses, just regular houses. We're just now. I've been saying that. It's insane that it took this long. Pom Pom is a horse. Where's Deebs? Gym equivalent, maybe. It doesn't look as grand enough to be a gym, I don't think. Smoking on it. My vote's a restaurant. That's interesting. Return of the Fossilmon. Do we not have Fossilmon in Paldea? Did we not? And in Galar, we had the goofy ass ones, bro. Justice for the Galar Fossilmon. I get it. I get the joke. Fix them. You could have both. Have the goofy ones. That's more of a human invention. And then we fix them in this. You know what? I'll put that on my list too. Galarmon's getting fixed this generation. To make up for the fact that, why does this keep spilling all over me? Yo, what's good with Paldea? What's the region? What's the story that Paldea in España, they don't got fossils? 3 gens of actual fossil? I'm about to faint. Fire store. Yep. Zodiac Theory is not back. Boo the Zodiac Theory. None of the Alola either. And that's because apparently Hawaii's soil or earth, because it's like an island, like erosion, something rock science. So I'm like, I can get that. But it's just a fun staple to look forward to, and just elaborating on the past and the lore of the Pokemon world. It's just fun little snippets. So, and I guess to be fair, right, Galar had like a bunch of fossils, so it kind of made up for like the previous generations, right? It wasn't just like 2. We had like 3 in Gen 1, but it's been like 2 consistently after, right? Probably a water steel is underwater trash representation. You never know. I like the Galar fossils. Listen, if you like it, great. I just want to see them fully, for my own sake of completionism in my mind. I want to see them fully rendered and realized. Yeah, I think so too, Mr. Flamtastic. I think so too. They didn't have fossils because they had the paradoxes. True, but it's just 2. You know, it's just 2. The other games have like, you know, other things, and they can still fit in. Well, I guess it's 4 total, right? Where in Galar, the Galar fossils didn't evolve, right? They were just like 4 different ones. Fossils in Kano, Hoenn, Crystal Onyx, I'm calling it. That'd be sick. My country is represented well. Vietnam, shout out to Vietnam, baby. Origin form, Tyrantrum being Fire Dragon, that'd be so sick. There's plenty of dinosaurs, and obviously we're all dinosaur fans. But since they skipped on fossils last generation, do 2 lines of 2-stage dinosaurs, and then do 2 general ancient Pokemon that are like funky, creepy, crawly, cutie creatures. You know? That'd be dope. Spain, from what I can tell, the only fossil they had was some sort of giraffe. Gotcha. Then we got Giraffary. The evolved form. The Sharpedo will be brutal if it's here. Gang, for the love of Christ, we need a true shark Pokemon. So expect that too. Put it on the list. All right, here we go. This bastard. Okay. Chat, I'm going to talk my piece. I want everyone to tell me who they're picking. So I'm gonna go one by one. Brout, great. I'd adjust the color to be a little more of a neutral color. Like yellow and green works absolutely, but I say that because when I look at Pombon, I'd also adjust the colors just a little bit because he's so entirely orange. Um, if I were to redesign this, that red underneath the organ, either more contrast, or maybe even have the feet maybe be like black, like it's covered in soot. Maybe the fire starts a little more closer to the tuft, like at the head, so there's more separation because it's just very blobby. I'd probably like lower the frills as well, just stylize that like three for the bonfire and the flame that it's creating. Um, with with Brout, the fact that it's mimicking Rowlett's tie so closely, like yeah, we've had repeated elements before, like Chimchar's tail is on fire, just like Charizard. But it kind of throws me off. Like I would really like to have each of in my head the starters truly just living in their own lanes as much as possible. And then the water guy, great. Not a lot of notes for the water guy from this perspective. Um, so okay, let me see. Pombon, Brout. Nature-based regions. His last game was urban-based, probably. I think that's probably what's going to happen. This area just feels so tropical and away from technology, and reef shark that hunts marini to keep its reef shape safe would be cool. Bonbon Torpedo when he meets shark children. Jesus Christ. I don't know why, but two of them look like Power World mons. I can low-key see that too. I mean, it's kind of crossing over now, right? The kind of design, not to, all the way in any capacity, but instantly Team Gecko the second I saw him. Love how vibrant the Pokemon look compared to previous. Absolutely. Orange to represent his future firefighting. So far I'm picking Gecko. I hope it doesn't evolve into something humanoid. Same with Brout. Into a Terror Bird, Gekwa, Basho. It's not even flying type, which is kind of crazy. Gecko, I love her so much. I'm gonna tweak when people get a firefighting. The dog would punch. I'm actually designing with some evolution predictions. Hell yeah. Guys, if you're in the Discord, the challenge for this month is to evolve them into their middle stage forms. Have fun. It's crazy we have Toby Fox as starter. I wonder how many people are going to make Pombon stand up for the prompt. I love Gecko, but I need her to say animal, please. So, let's just play through this a little bit. Cute. So, when he looks, he's got his full eyes here, and it cuts the brow a little bit. So, he doesn't look super angry here, but like everyone's been leaning into that as the main expression. Like here, he looks angry, right? That's the thing that everyone's like kind of leaning into. But then when you look at him, it's like maybe it is showing that he, like by cutting the eye and that silhouette, they're trying to say he might be a really angry guy when he grows up. Overall, the name is what for Sprout, and that his eyebrows are like the heaviest, or doing the heavy lifting for the design. I like the idea of a terror bird. I like the idea of I've seen cassowary. I could see it being like a flightless kind of bird, and maybe this thing is going to be grass fighting. Maybe it's going to be grass ground. I'd love to see starters with unused typings as far as starters. Fun fact: Pombon is the fire kanji. I think I've seen that. Yeah. So overall, I really like it. Here, look, again, like I said, I'd have like brought the red down a little more. I'd have started the red far lower in that middle tuft, or even add like some red or a little bit of that white in its ears as well. I guess they don't want to step on the toes of Fennekin too much, but still, I just think the design could be just a little more simpler. It's not, it's not a lot of critiques that I'm trying to give. Because otherwise I'll sit here and actually draw it out and stuff. But how do you feel about Jungle Fowl? What does that mean? What's up, Laura? Long time no see. Welcome in, welcome in. It feels odd how all three seem to lack major patterns. Yeah, it is. They are a lot more subtle. I would say by far, like even this one is a little more generic. Like his red spot on his belly Yeah, I mean, maybe you could say it kind of looks like my dog Coda when she was so fluffy, and I was literally watching this and I screamed my dog's name out because I've always wanted a Pokemon that looked like her, and now I finally got it. So I literally screamed at the top of my lungs, Coda, and it kind of like it looks like it could be a dog tag, like a circular one underneath the tuft. Apparently, like lore wise, its organs are like so hot it's kind of like blazing through. So it adds a little bit of color and pattern, and even the snout looks like a light kind of glowing, you know. Um, with Brout, he doesn't have a lot of patterns going on. It's again the brow is doing the heavy lifting. It would be Gekakwa that has the most, right? Um, Gekakwa definitely has the one thing I realized: final form and special monitors tend to be very different. Did I make this prompt? Yes, it's gonna be hard pressed like for anybody to get close to the final design. Oh, is it possible evolution? It could be. Bonny. Blaziken is a jungle fowl. Oh, okay. I thought Blaziken was based off of the Fighting Roosters. Pombon. Look at this cute guy. Gekakwa. Got the eyelash going on. Got like a teardrop, almost like a bindi. There's a lot of Indian influence in this, area of the world. Um, Gorgeous water effects going on here. I know everyone has pointed this out. This dragon shaped. It could be a sea serpent. And look, to be fair, it is the only dark cloud in the sky. It does stick out like a sore thumb. It really does. I'm not trying to be fighting chicken. Gotcha. Um, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but looking at that cloud, it does stick out. Now, does that mean the wind and wave Pokemon, like it's got this kind of movement, like the wind could move like this, water moves like this. It could be a sea serpent that's dancing in the sky, kind of like the gorgeous dragons of Tears of the Kingdom, or it could be a sea serpent that swims under the water like this. Although we have Gyarados for that, right? Which, by the way, Gyarados is a water guy who can fly. Okay, he's literally both wind and chicken jack. Uh, Gyarados is water flying. I'm calling it right now. I think we could see like a regional third evolution to Gyarados. I know he's already got a Mega, but Magikarp is an iconic, beloved Pokemon. Gyarados can get some more love. People aren't going to say no to that. Um, so okay, which starter? I'll answer that in just a second, Mom. Matt. I just want to go through this one last time. We go into the water. There's no reason we wouldn't do this if we weren't actually going to explore the water. So that's high key confirmed here. Luminion's gonna get a new form guaranteed, or like tropical variant cousin. We'll see again. You expect to see plenty of tropical fishes coming in. I'm gonna give critiques for this. This is the dumbest thing I could do, being a nitpicky guy, which I'm normally not. Like, for one, why I get why Winds has like the darker color wave for the stroke because they made it white, but like I would have expected the inside to be green, and then you both have the same consistent white outside. And then with waves, waves is so blocky when like as far as font. I know they don't want to step on each other's toes. You're trying to have juxtaposition. Dark stroke outside, light stroke outside. More free flowy wind like kind of shapes for the letters, and then waves is more blockier with some movement at the bottom. But like even like the general under asset they use looks so uninspired. And that's the most I'll whine about fucking logos. New thing for Jellicent. Maybe. Never say never. I'd rather see brand new kind of jellyfish personally. There's gonna be convergent mons for sure, regional fakes, regional variants. Like they're gonna do all this kind of stuff. Okay, so that's that. Here you have this the gorgeous screenshot. Let's go through all of this. Here's another one, beautiful sun setting. Letty Ba Letty in Duskull. This could be a restaurant. This could, or you know what? It could also be like an inn or a hotel. Um, I get a lot of India vibes as well. Like when I go to India, like I don't know, it kind of reminded me, maybe like a nice home in like Cuba or something. Wingle. This shot is so nice. It's so beautiful. Here's the underwater with Luminion and Finion. Wait, no, they're the one and the same, right? This is the second one, Luminion. That's the missing evolution, by the way. Um, Anything hiding here? Not really. Here's Wailor and Whalmer. Look, that mist looks gorgeous. Marini with its animation. This guy's dead. Slugma giving off lighting from the inside. Some nice lighting going on with the magma there. Nighttime lighting. So you see the rim lighting on Krabby's claw here. And so that catches light differently than a pile of sand. So this is like a softer kind of light, with this is a harsh, light. And here's the resort. Look at the draw distance. You can see a gym, or not gym. Maybe that's where you have your first battle back here. Here's maybe, who knows, the professors. There's like a staircase over here. Maybe this is where the professor gives you your Pokemon. Although we saw it was on the beach, so it could be like right here. So this could be like the research facility or something, and then they've got like a battle area here. Um, cool. Here's Pikachu in a new battle pose. First look at the main characters. Yeah, I don't know. They're a bit of a miss to me. Um, they look really generic. Like you could put these guys in Pokemon Snap. Like they feel like Pokemon Snap characters. Could have made one lighter and one darker to be black and white. Yeah, or lean, more of a juxtaposition. I see what they were trying to do. It's a miss for me, but I don't care. It's logos. That's me being uber critical for no reason. Wins' Rayquaza, Waves is Kyogre, and Groudon's left out. Rest in peace. Bring back the Battle Cafes from Alola. Pokemon Center, a place where you can rest a heal. Probably, could be. Pokemon Tremor. Oh, for the third. Mangrove Tree spotted, though. New tree. Never know. Evolution for Noivern would be epic. Would be really cool. I love Noivern. They're short, so short. Look at them. They're kids, Tell them all the updates. I want all of them. That's in the beginning, Rykar. Welcome in, welcome in. So be sure to watch if you came in a little late. I like the Waves hat, at least. I like the way. I like this one. This feels really cool to me. This feels more adventure. This feels more classic, right? Like the general hat. I don't like the color palette with the pink and the olive green. This feels a little more put together. Okay. There they go here. Hey, they look a little different here. He's more stretched out. There he goes. The outfit your character dons will differ between versions. Is it that different? Let's see. Yellow, blue. It's really the backpack and the hat changes. Why are they acting like your outfit changes? It's just your backpack, son. Your backpack and your hat. Hmm. Like the classics, what can I say? Picking the game based off the hat. Do you think there will be gyms? Like actual, yeah. Um, yeah, I think so for sure. Pants a bit darker or make it a bit bluer. Yeah, like what if they just leaned into like the characters like a little more greenish, whitish here, and then more bluish, purplish or something. Or it didn't have to be winds and waves. It could still be homage to red and blue. Can someone think of other red and blue analogies? Like I'm sure we could, rather than winds and waves. Which, to be fair, again, even X and Y, right? Their first foray into three dimensions. That's why they named it X and Y, right? Um, to mark their milestone. Winds and waves, maybe this is a milestone in graphics and and gameplay mechanics that Game Freak has never done. So they're like, the wind mechanics are going to be really crazy, and the waves mechanic is. By having it built into the name, you're able to then bring attention to that thing they worked hard on. Crimson and Azure, there you go. Crimson and Indigo, red and blue, black and white, scarlet and violet, gold and silver. Yeah, so it doesn't always have to be red and blue, clearly, because gold and silver changed it immediately. But I guess I'm thinking like 30th anniversary, but then again, the 20th anniversary is sun and moon. So when you think about it, red, blue, sun and moon, winds and waves. I guess, like, as long as it's a juxtaposition, I guess in hindsight, Scarlet and Violet would have been a nice Gen 10 homage. That would have been the homage where you're like, red and blue, Scarlet and Violet. And then maybe instead of sun and moon, it could have been like crimson and, what was it? Crimson and indigo. My guess to this game is they're taking elements from every previous game, mismatching it. Not even mismatching it, but, utilizing it. Crimson and Cobalt. That sounds fire, too. Waves because they need to show you can swim without the lag. Yeah. My favorite color is sun, moon, sword, and shield. Exactly. I keep forgetting they really have broken the barrier. I'm living as a Gen 1er. Actually, why wasn't random? It's referencing. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The 3D games. My favorite color, diamond. When playing wins, you the player. Let's look through the characters. There they go. Very hopeful with the Nintendo Switch hoverboards. There's a unique logo here. So maybe that's like the logo of the resort or the organization that the professor belongs to and sends you on your journey. There's an Oddish hanging out right here. That lighting. You can even see blades of grass that are kicked up. Sword Shield and magenta and cyan. Yeah, that's very true. So that's like the red and blue undertone exists all throughout. Like Sol Galeo still had like warmer colors living in the yellow and whatnot. Lunala was like blue and purple. Zekrom has like bits of blue charge, and then Reshiram had like bits of red, right? Eternatus in a hand. And Eternatus, don't get me wrong, like cool boss. Eldritch horror just screams should have been in Sun and Moon, right? And then, I mean, story-wise, I get it, like a crystalline object that, like light can pass through, but rather than absorbing it, holds it. No, I guess it was absorbing light. Sure, that makes sense too. But maybe like fuse the designs of Eternatus a little bit into the Crystal Man. And then like, cool. Dogs with, I love dogs. So like you guys know this. Sword Dog and Shield Dog, cool. Teamed up. But make it like more of like an Arthurian thing where it's more like, rather than Eldritch level entity, like more homegrown, especially with England and its stories, and a more generalized dragon that they had to slay. That was like G-Maxed, where they come together as like the sword and the shield. It was like so much more of a temporal design than a corporeal design. It just didn't land for me, personally. What about Mind and Matter? That's cool. Logos on the back of the hand makes you think of the ones that... Yeah, that's true! Pokemon Brain and Brawl. Pokemon Yanni and Laurel. Low clap for you. Pokemon 6 and 7. Oh my god. Just imagine. This guy looks so... I love him. Centiskorch, right? Is that the first one? Or is that the final name? I couldn't tell you anymore. Okay, so there you go. Introducing the first partner. Aether Paradise thing where the resort is evil, or will there be a more stereotypical evil team? Either or, right? It could go either or. Tooth and Claw, Pokemon Kiki and Pokemon Booba? What? This is an amazing shot. So I'm gonna give you context. If you guys know Sizzlepede, thank you, Alex. My context, gang, you guys know this. I go grass every generation. There was only one generation I didn't go grass, and that was Torchic. The reason why is a little convoluted, but every generation I go grass. The fact that we get our final first dog starter when we've had like 2 cats already, 30 years in is insane. Gang, it's not a question. I am betraying my grass team. 9 generations have gone grass. The fact that my name is in there too, Bon, is funny. But Pombon is my choice without there's nothing in this world that's more certain. There's nothing in this world that's more certain that I'm going Pombon. As someone who, as far as the discourse of, oh, bipedal starters suck, they're too anthropomorphic, however you say that goddamn word, it always kills me. Um, this, that, and the other. For the love of Christ, I need Pombon to stay on all fours. It's non-negotiable. Okay? Now, they saw how popular Skeledirge was, and they know that the fans don't always love bipedal designs, but Pokemon, as with any community, has a large like vocal minority that just screams at the top of their lungs and whatnot. Like, you know, a lot of people like the bipedal Pokemon too. Revert to baby. Um, they could all easily be. You have to set your expectation. They could all easily be bipedal designs. That's just how it's been. There's more bipedal designs now than like the traditional like monsters, right? Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. So, like, just statistically speaking, like, no one here should be surprised if they, all end up standing up, right? Rillaboom, Cinderace, Inteleon, um, Delphox, Chestnut, Greninja, all bipedal. Um, Even Primarina, yeah, like, she's not bipedal, but, like, feels far more humanoid than your normal Pokemon. Please don't curse Gekako bipedalism. I love Miascarada, but she doesn't have to be furry bait. Um, so this is my predictions. These are just my ideas and my thoughts. I'm not saying it's stable. You don't have to agree or like it. And Senna, there's a chance in this world that all four stay on all fours. Well, I say stay on, but a bird is never really on all fours anyway. So it could be the first Griffin for all we know, and it's on 4 legs, right? Um, so there's only one fully evolved quadrupedal fire starters. Is it? What? Swampert is usually on 4s, right? But it could stand up too. Skeledirge is on all 4s. Samurott. No, Samurott's on 4 too. Um, Meganium is on 4. Who else? Superior has no legs. I think Griffin. A lot of there not a lot, but there were some people thought Rowlet would evolve into a Griffin. That'd be dope. An owl bear. Oh my god, be still my heart. If we were to get an owl bear Brout, that would be really annoying if we got like an owl bear or a Griffin um final form. That would be so sick. I'd be like, wow, the one generation I don't go grass. That's what scares me, gang. I love Pombon so much. Like, I'm like spiritually called to go to Pombon. So if this, because I liked Fuecoco and I loved Skeledirge as the final form too. And I went Meowscarada just because I'm like, even though my heart was like Fuecoco, I'm like, I got to stay truthful to the grass line. Um, a Komodo dragon, since that's an awesome Indonesian animal. I don't know if that's too likely. I mean, you know, this guy's got like a big bulbous tail. Um, it's possible, right? Like you don't have to stay one animal, right? Like Pokemon go through. That's why when people are like, "Oh, why does this one Pokemon become a completely different animal?" or blah blah blah. Bro, it's not real life. Throw out logic, right? Like it's more fun that it's like weird and random and crazy. Um, it could be oh, you said fire, gotcha. Um, yeah, I would say like just expect them all to be bipedal, but be hopeful that that the one that you want stays the way you want. Gila Monster vibes. Yeah, I agree. I see that too. Um, maybe the regional pseudo legendary could be a Komodo dragon. I don't think we have a lot of four-legged quadrupedal pseudo legendaries, right? Salamence is flying in the air, but he's like more horizontal. Gudra stands up, Dragonite stands up, Excalibur stands up, Tyranitar stands up. Metagross is four legs. He can fly too, but he is on the ground. So maybe this time around it's going to be a Komodo Dragon pseudo legendary. Although Komodo Dragon doesn't really read. I know a lot of people want a Bug Dragon and a Fairy Dragon. Is this the generation that does it? Could be. Um, Komodo Dragon's like you can also evoke poison. We already have Gudra for that. I strongly believe Gudra should have been Fairy Dragon. And then we could have had a cool pseudo legendary poison dragon. So could be Komodo Dragon like two-stage form or maybe like a single stage, on the vein of Druddigan, you know? Gecko to evolve into a non-humanoid water poison Gila monster. It could certainly happen. Oh, so I'll give you my predictions. And I've seen a lot of people say these kind of things too, so it's not like they're my own unique takes per se, but like what I kind of agree with and see. Ideally, it would be. Wait, Gudra's not poison? What is Gudra? Oh, wait. I know the one in Kitakami, not Kitakami. Sinnoh is steel, right? What is Gudra? Wait, Gudra is a dragon, right? Am I crazy? Anyway, Gudra's just dragon? No way. Seriously? I've been misinformed. So wait, we could have a Gila monster. That could be really cool. Pure dragon? You're shitting me, gang. Como is a Komodo. Oh, that's true. That's so true. He is it's in the name, Como. Wait a second. I'm first of all, I'm shook right now. All this time I thought he was poisoned because he was dripping and whatnot, purplish color. Why did they go pure? That's so boring. You introduce fairy in that generation, you might as well have gone fairy dragon and just spin the fairy theming a little bit, where it's like you expect the fairy to be pristine and perfect and cutesy because Gutra is cutesy, but then you go fairy and it's like gloopy and stuff. Like that's kind of fun. Um, but yeah, I could see Gekwa. Okay, for one, maybe there's a chance that Gekwa stays on all fours because you don't want the. By the way, I'll first say, and I'm gonna start wrapping up soon, chat, within 10 minutes. I'm not the biggest fan of the overlap of having Sobble and Gekwa and in before Lizard and Newt and whatever. And then even Rowlet and Brout. Because even Brout's like two leaves look like Rowlet's tie. So the overlap is just so similar. If not two, maybe like one. Maybe it was like Brout and then you saved like the other guy. I just found that overlap to be so. It kind of breaks the biodiversity of the level of like differences in starters, which is entirely something no one should give a shit about. I'm just thinking about it like from the big picture as a designer, just to like further spread out that net and map of like unique combinations. Um, so we already have that overlap, right? Similarity. So it makes me wonder: does Sobble, not Sobble, does Gekakwa, should it be Gekwa? Oh, it is Gekwa, not Gekakwa. Gekwa is even better. That's okay. Cool. So with Gekwa, maybe it'll be quadrupedal, um, water poison or water. Even the eyelashes kind of give me like a ghost kind of vibe. They're like very flowy. Obviously flowy like water. They kind of have like a teardrop shape as well, which you see with its crest here, like a bindi. I could see it becoming like an elaborate like pattern. Psychic as well is an option, water psychic, because the bindi quite often, like there's like many things, right? Third eye symbolize, you're married. Um, but it's giving very third eye energy, even with the pinkish purplish eyes. That makes me lean into either poison or psychic. Hell, again, even ghost, right? So it's any one of those three. Because Inteleon's like pure, um, it's just pure water. Pombon. No, I'll say Pombon for last because he's the one I'm going with. Brout. He's got these like, like the legs kind of like built into the design. So much of him is floof. I can't help but wonder if he's gonna be like a grounded, more monstrous bipedal. Like birds are bipedal, but like maybe like emu, cassowary. What if it's a belly dancer? Could be. There's dance is such a big part of India and Thailand and Indonesia and this Southeast Asian experience for sure. Starter split evos, I don't see it happening. Um, Considering Florges as a custom vine whip animation, I think it's a byproduct of Callus releasing before it's finished. In regards to, oh, I see what you're saying. Um, oh, it's not watery; it evolves in the rain. That's right. Weird. Describe as intelligent. It could end up being psychic. I think so too. Yeah, a marine iguana, possibly. Um, so yeah, we'll close out Gekwa with water psychic, water ghost, or water poison easily. And if we wanted to do a type triangle thing, we could like reverse engineer that too. So I'm not like, I'm not deciding. I'm just guessing, right? Um, I made a prediction for Bomb Bomb's evolution. It's called Atomaranian because it looks like a bomb. Well, yeah, it's like it could be like a bomb, right? Could be like just a bonfire in a general fire shape. Um, okay, so Brout, I could see. I don't think it's going to be flying. I think it'll be like grass ground. It could be grass fighting, of which we already have like a grass fighting in Chestnut, right? It could be pure grass, but I feel like that'd be boring. So let me know what you guys think about Brout. I'm gonna go grass ground. For some reason, I think it's gonna get strong legs, cassowary, or an emu, something in that general direction. Once again, with the eyebrows, I can see the eyebrows becoming like a beautiful crest. I've seen some people say grass fairy, and it's a bird of paradise, which is cool because it is like this whole area looks like a paradise, a beautiful area. Birds of paradise are also a type of flower, and then just a group of birds describing like colorful, gorgeous, birds. Finally, Pombon. Pombon could be any number of things. Fire ground, because if you're going with bonfire, which is only one, it could be translated in any number of ways, right? When I think of bonfire, I'm thinking like wood and on the beach, and so I don't think it'll be fire ground. It could be fire fairy. I've seen a lot of people say that because the Pomeranian is such a dainty, cute, cherubic kind of creature. So it could be fire fairy, which would be a very fun type. Um, I think this has the least. What's the word? It's hard to kind of pin from this early on, as far as context clues. So, grass ground terrier bird. Pokemon loves fighting in dark as secondary starters. So if it's a ratite, what is a ratite? Oh, I mean, what if? Yeah, I mean, we have fire dark with Incineroar, so that would be a how you call it, like a another overlap, but it's not like like what, like regular fire starters, like we have the fire fighting joke, right? Like what's another fire dark? So fire poison, interesting. Brow could go in the Kiwi direction. That's true too. Although Kiwi seems more likely for like a middle jumping kind of point rather than a final because those are pretty small. But they can adapt it any way they want. So yeah, chat. That's me. I'm going Pombon. I pray it stands on all fours. There goes Sprout here. Good boy. Good girl. And by the way, this art is just gorgeous. It's so cute. The bean chick Pokemon. So it'll, you know, chickpeas. I know someone mentioned chickpeas as a jumping off point. Grass, 1 foot. This Pokemon runs about energetically while photosynthesizing using the leaves on its browse. It's lively, but it can also be a bit clumsy. Fire Dark Cat, Fire Fairy Dog, I'm calling it. I love it. This art looks so cute too. Here's the kanji they had mentioned over here. It's a little harder to tell. Like if there's a little bit of orange in the split of the paw pad, then even more so. But um, he's got a little bit of red here too. I'd have more contrast in the design, me personally, but it's fine. The Blaze Pokemon, Puppy, area below it still glows faintly from the heat generating organ within its lung. This Pokemon is guileless and friendly. So we already have a fire dog. It's called Houndour. So now there's like an adjacent kind of Pokemon. So we'll see what happens there. The Water Gecko. Water Torrent Gekwa. This Pokemon launches springy balls of balls of water from its tail. That's got to be something so specific. So I wonder, maybe it creates a crystal ball as a water psychic for its final line. I'm wondering if the springy balls of water becomes like a crystal ball. Like you could see like the light reflecting and shining, and it's peering into it as a water psychic, or a water ghost. Very intelligent, maneuvers shrewdly. The shrewdly bit kind of feels like ghost or even poison. Or, it's like a rogue psychic, but what's up, Pokerex? Welcome in. Pokemon is the same face as Fuecoco. It's got the same derpy kind of energy. Gallus means no thoughts, pretty much. Oh my god, you're right. And Growlithe too, absolutely. Gecko that shoots foul-smelling liquids. I've seen that. They could be referring to that and then leaning into a crystal ball angle. I don't know. We'll see. What if split Evos? Look, you can't put it, besides Game Freak. They're always finding ways to innovate and, change this. Whoa, look at the lighting here. Gecko's reflection in these tiny little droplets and puddle is amazing. They're really full sending on this. That's awesome. That is gorgeous. I just caught that. Trying to see if there's anything else I missed here. Water doesn't look too bad here. The rock texture is gorgeous over here. Here you got some lighting. Here's some heat coming through from the back of the cave. It's nice. Light source, and then you see how the occlusion here, like it's more darker underneath, like the shadow is. There you go. Hopium. Guys, as I start wrapping up, I want you to remember how important it is to inhale hopium. Stop with this copium nonsense, okay? I want you guys to look forward to this game. I want you guys to look forward to an amazing life for yourselves. Continue to work hard. Surround yourself with good people. Never give up on your dreams. You have a dream for a reason. You have desires for a reason. You're meant to chase them. So I'm so glad you guys could join me. Thank you to everyone who came in. I didn't expect to do 2 hours. But yeah, all you guys showed up like I, hadn't missed a whole 7-8 months. So thank you for that. Really love and appreciate you guys. Your support has always been there in the back of my mind. Yeah, we'll see if I'll hop on for like other trailers. It depends. Feel free to hop into the Discord. Like I said, now that I'm full-time in school, a master's program is no joke. So I really have to continue to full send. That is my main focus. I'm able to bounce back with, um, working on Not Nice Ninjas as part of like a creative outlet. Slowly working on that book, slowly living life. Make sure you guys take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. I'm gonna start heading to the gym now. It's been 6,000 years. It's true. I'm hacking to your camera to watch it. Oh, good God. I just have to get a snack. We're starting to get emotional, of course. Yeah, I missed you guys too. I really have. Like, I'll genuinely think of you guys randomly, and I have this setup, and I'll sometimes think like, oh wow, I used to do like this whole streaming stuff. More Bonny streams. Yeah, we'll see. Like again, they'll probably be really rare, to be honest with you guys. Um, if it's anything, like I said, so I guess there's a good chance to talk about. I can't stop looking at all the silver in the short amount of time I've been gone. Father Time has been catching up to me. There's some silver here too. Um, Look at all this silver here. I don't know. Maybe I'll dye it. Maybe I won't. But as I was saying very early on in like months back, I have the DJI camera. What I really want to do is, if I am going to post again, it won't be as much Pokemon stuff, at least like main stuff to the channel. It might be, I don't know, who knows, down the line official Zotempo stuff, or a more proper Not Nice Ninjas reveal. But I want to like sit out in nature, either walk around with a mic in my hand and just talk to you guys, and give you guys inspiring words, reflections in my own life, and basically pass on everything I've worked hard to get to where I am physically, mentally, and spiritually. When the rare occasional students, do we get art wins? Maybe, we'll see. Like, it's still, again, too early to say. My program is literally all year round, so I don't get a summer break. I think I do get a winter break. I get a spring break, which is dope, but again, I'm gonna probably full send on all my creative projects. Reactions to Blackbeard look good. Just saying, oh yeah, thanks. We're old. I'm just a little older. Have fun at the gym. Remember, use chalk if you plan on lifting. My gym sucks. I got a community gym. There's nothing in it, but I'm grateful for what I do have. I've been keeping up with Enigmorphs. Of course, I always watch that stuff. I still get inspired watching all that kind of stuff. And Zotempo's, I still have like a list of all the stuff that I want to do. Zotempo's there. I'd love to see Zotempo again. Me too. It's you turning into a wise sage. I know, little by little. You know what I realize is like, it's just proof that I'm alive, that I'm still here, still fighting the good fight, no matter how rough it gets. And these days, I don't even give myself permission to feel sad or mad. I'm just grateful. Like, I feel like any mistake I make, it was meant to take me right back onto my path, right? Like when you're in your car and if you're driving, if you hit a wrong turn, the GPS doesn't say, you idiot, you fucked up. Now you got to do a 30-minute detour. No, it goes rerouting. That's it. If you can look at your life and any time, like, and this is a practice thing, right? It wasn't easy for me, but like, I made it easy because I built it into my reality. Now I realize, like, something doesn't work out, I'm like, oh, cool. I didn't get this job, or, this girl I was dating, it didn't work out. Something better is on the way, because I'm making myself the version that is capable of holding the new desires as they come in, right? There's so many limiting beliefs and scarcity mindsets that we have programmed into our subconscious that we have to undo. And the best way to do that is just live with positivity and gratitude. And I know I sound like a hippie, but that's just how you got to live life, man. Like, there's no copium anymore. It's all hopium, baby. So I'm so glad to have been able to hang out with you guys and talk to you guys. It's been way too long. Again, if I am putting out new videos, it's just going to be me yapping into a camera from anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, just giving you all the lessons I've learned in this beautiful life. So it's a good laugh. Yeah, there's this one, I think it's Waze or something, has Dash EXP as the voice. Pants, I know. Everyone put some pants emojis for me as we sign out. So that's the last bit of emotional talk that I'll give. I'm going to just quickly put on some gym stuff and get to sweating. But I've been Professor Bohdi, aka Mr. Bonnie John. Thank you so much for watching. If there's any, yeah, if there's any fun little stuff that's coming up, you'll see it on other channels. I'll just say it. Sorry, Ron. Don't don't even tell Ron. He doesn't care. He's one of my best buds. I'll be appearing in the next two collabs. So just look forward to that. That's the way I still exist in the world, right? So path isn't easy. I was like, nah, just keep going, gang. All the pants, hell yeah. So I'm gonna head out. Have a wonderful day. I don't know truly when I'll see you guys next, but whenever it may be, I hope I see you all in good health.